Hello everyone, Speedy B here at Warfield Adventure. So today I'm here with the 2026 KLX300 and we've got another Givi plate we're going to install. Now, unlike the CRF 450L, when we installed the Givi bag on that, this bike we don't need, for this bike at least, we don't need to put like a brand new case on. We're putting a case on, but Dad said he was going to, for Smokey Mountain 500, rock with the case he runs on the street. Now, this is a Givi Monolock case. It's a bit older one. They have one similar to this in style, but I'll throw that up on screen for you guys. But this one, you know, it works. You know, he's done a lot of trips with it and says it works for what you need. You know, it's all stickered up, as you can see, up in there. And then loud pipes on the top. Check that podcast out. It's done by Dad, and I'm on there sometimes. But anyway, Deals Gap, you know, kind of minor thing. So this is accessorized a little bit, whether that matters or not, I guess. But the point is that we've already had a case, and Dad was like, you know, I'll use that on this bike. And the other one that we put on the CRF 450L, the Bernina, I think that's what it's called. Bernina 38 liter is kind of a test. We're going to see how well that one works out. And, you know, if it holds up great, works out well, Dad's going to get one for this, and then this other case will stay on the VFR. So what we did for this bike is, because we didn't have to buy another case, we just bought another plate. Because while Dad was thinking, yeah, we could just go ahead and, you know, take the plate that's on the VFR, these pins here, as you can see, let me come closer. These rubber pieces here, because of the age of the bike, the miles that's been put on it, you know, they're worn down, and actually the one on the VFR on this side kind of pops out real easy. So the bag tends to jump a lot on the plate. I noticed when I put the one on the CRF 450L that doesn't do that because of these rubber pieces. They're new, so it holds it up and supports it. So that was our concern initially with that, is how well it will work, but it seems to be pretty good, at least with these rubber plugs being new. And we've got, the kit has screws in it, things like that, but before we had ordered this plate and gotten like the screws that are in the kit, what we had done is we had created some of our own. So we've got washers on it, we've got all that. So, and this plate I know works really well with this. We've already mounted it. We mounted the bag as like a test fit to see, you know, does it work well? So we know this works pretty well on this rack. So we don't, unlike the 450L, we don't have to cut a new plate to try and get it to fit. This should be a really easy install, but I just kind of want to talk you guys through it, show you guys what's going on, as you know I like to do. Also, these are all the bolts in the kit if you are someone that is looking for it, and it also has the pins for the plate. You're going to need that. So let's pop that open and grab those real quick. There's 4 of them. So here's the 4 plates. You're going to have to open the bag up to grab these if you're like me and using your own screw hardware. And you're also going to need these 2 little bolts, try not to lose them. That holds this plate on the other piece. So now that we got that over the way, we established what we're doing kind of where the direction we're going with this. Now let's get into the install. So first we got to get this plate off to expose our grid pattern. So for us, we know where this plate is going. We're going to mount it up front here. So identify where you're going to put them, and I would put your pieces in like this. Like we said, this rack, this Flatland racing rack, is small for this, so we don't want to put it like back here, you know, kind of like if you put it like this on the seat, then you have, if you put a lot of weight in the back, that pushes on the back of it. So we're trying to get, much like with the 450L, we're trying to get as much weight forward as possible on the rack, because also with the subframe too, that helps kind of keep weight forward. You don't have to worry about bending or breaking anything. So once you get that lined up, you figure out where you want, you're going to get your hardware out and you're going to get that installed. So what I would do is I would put them in, obviously without getting all the bolts and whatnot in first. Just kind of see where you like it. Make sure that the area you put it in actually works. Then from there you can go ahead and, you know, put the nuts in. All right, so once you get them in and figure out where you want it, you can go ahead and then go and tighten all your bolts down. Or at least that's what I would recommend. Figure out where you would go first, and then, you know, make sure you get everything tightened down. you know, make sure it's nice and situated on here. If you've got nylon, the kit comes with some nylon nuts and screws, and if you're using your own, I would recommend, you know, getting some either nylon nuts, or are they nylon or Nylock? I don't know, or putting some thread locker on, or both. That always helps, because the last thing you want is your bag to go bounce down the trail. That's something you definitely don't want. All right, so that's the last one that's tightened down, and once you get it tightened down, make sure it's not gonna go anywhere on you. You can get that plate and clip it back into the bike, or not in the bike, into the top case, the top case plate. Yeah, that's better. And then you take those itty bitty screws that I showed you earlier, and they go right in here. This plate isn't very it's not a structural piece. All it really does is I think it just covers the other bolts that are in there, and while also providing kind of like a nice flat spot too, and something that looks appealing, even if you don't have the bag on, because if I'm being honest, the grid pattern is kind of ugly, so if you don't have that on, it kind of is a bit of an eyesore. So I mean, this thing is that's nice, you know. For this bike, it's going to be a little harder because of the shape, the size, the bike itself, but it's fine. Look at that on there, nice and good. Let's get the bag on there. So I've got the bag here. Let's get it installed. You slide these tabs, slide on to the back of the plate here. Let's make sure that's back good, and then locks in. Make sure it locks in. Oh yeah, there's not any movement from it. I think it was just the other plate with the rubber being gone. That's solid. I like that. See, and for this case, open it up, put all your stuff in here, you know, fill it with everything you need. And this is going to be good for Smokey Mountain. Instead of taking backpack for everything, you know, so let's play out a scenario. You're out riding and you're like, oh, I need something. You just take your key, you come back here, you open the thing up, grab it, bam, close it up, keep riding. So this is definitely awesome, and it's great to have this, especially this year for doing Smokey Mountain 500. Show y'all while I'm on the bike a little bit, because this bike is a little shorter than the CRF. Let me back up so y'all can see pretty well. So get in, and actually let me put the kickstand down. That might, you know, how I would ride, I'd ride and I'd be like right here. Yeah, leaning back like that to reach it, but like I said in the CRF thing, if you wanted to, you get a little throttle stopper. You could lean back a little, just kind of rest. Or that'd be good when you stop, because this thing has a kind of a long kickstand and this thing sags a lot. So if you're just sitting somewhere, it gives you a good place to sit. You know, if it's hot outside, obviously, you know, go inside. But if it's not that bad, you're trail side, you're just taking a little breather, you can sit here, rest back, and get back to riding. Just kind of scoot up, kickstand up, that kind of thing. So definitely, it's really, really good. I like it. Nice and secure for storing your stuff. But aside from that, that's the end of the video here, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the install of this Givi top case on the KLX300. So this is again in prep for Smokey Mountain 500. We're doing that again in the year of 2026. Actually, as of recording this video, we are about 2 weeks away. So it's exciting. You know, last year around this time, you know, we had just gotten bikes. Let me figure out today's actual date. It's the 9th. So I believe it was the 13th. It was like a Saturday or something like that when we actually went to pick up this bike at Team Charlotte Motorsports. And it was like, okay, we got one bike for Smokey Mountain 500. It's like, okay. It's like, we're somewhere. And then shortly after, we went and picked up the 450L. So it was like, whew, it was like a sigh of relief. It's like, okay, we've got our bikes now. But this year, it was different. It was like, our packing last year sucked. It's like, I don't want to take a backpack. And then, you know, you're sitting on the back of the bike all day. So it's like, let's do this. And there's no rush this year. You know, we could get up and leave right now if we wanted to. The bikes are ready, just put fuel and go. So we got a couple things we still want to prep. I do want to talk to you guys. I'm going to show you guys that later on. We're going to be greasing some bearings on this, especially this bike. That hasn't been done. We're coming up on a year. That needs to be done. Same with the 450L, because we plan to do the water crossing. So I'd like to make sure the bearings are greased up beforehand. Bearings, suspension linkages, things like that, they're greased up beforehand. And then definitely if we hit the the creek crossings, we're going to do that after we get back as well. But we'll show you guys the beforehand, talk about all the other prep we plan to do. And then we're going to have a separate video talking about solely what we plan to do, like kind of how we're going to try and structure the trip for recording for you guys for the videos, because we're going to record and make videos out of it. I'm not going to do like last year and make like a 7-hour video. That's not going to happen. I think it's going to be split up by day, around 20 to 30 minutes, but we'll cover that in detail in that video. So definitely, you know, like, comment, and subscribe. It shows us you're appreciating these videos. Definitely subscribe if you're excited to see the Smokey Mountain content and you want to see that. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on that. But anyway, Speedy B here at Warfield Adventures signing out. Ride safe and enjoy every ride. Peace out.